Thursday? Yes, Thursday. Going to happy hour. So I got sick, like, whatever weekend it was. I literally went to 1, 2, 3 events, 3 days in a row. And then I started feeling like malaise, like that Sunday. And I'm like, okay. So one of those 3 events, obviously I sat next to Buddy, was exposed to cold germs. It wasn't COVID. I took a COVID test. I've had COVID before. It didn't feel like that. I was like, it's not strep. And I was like, I don't want to pay $50 for urgent care for them to say I have a cold. So I was trying to wait it out to figure out, if symptoms got worse. So the malaise became a low-grade fever. And then, unfortunately, I had to go in the office that week. And so I just kind of stayed away from people. It was like we had to be in office kind of thing. It's mandatory. Let me look at something. Okay. I need to go get my teeth cleaned. But yeah, so I stayed away from people. And then we had a meeting in a conference room. I had a mask on. Because otherwise, where my cubicle is like nobody usually comes in my cubicle. So I'm like, I wasn't near anybody really. So, and then on the way home, I stopped at the grocery store, got some Powerade. I think I already had soup. About some Powerade. I don't remember what else. And I think water. I needed water badly as well. And, in case I needed to hunker down. And then Tuesday, and basically Monday night, I got sick. Like, full blown. It was like, you're sick. It wasn't like, oh, maybe it's allergies, nothing like that. I was like I said, I know I had the fever, but I'm like, it was for sure, like, because I sneezed. I'm like, I usually sneeze anyway, because dust in my apartment, and I can't open my windows too. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep the powder off my chest, because this shirt is very, chesty, but skinny. It shows a lot of skin. Let's do these eyebrows. The eyeshadow is the berries, Juvia's Place. I have not used this in a long time because I didn't want to declutter it, but I kind of put it off to the side kind of thing. And then some people have the eyeshadow palettes for like 10 years. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to have an eyeshadow, but there's certain eyeshadow palettes, I'm like, I paid a lot of money on this. I'm not throwing this away. For instance, the Ness's palettes are the most expensive palette I own. So I'm like, I will rock that or keep that until, and they're usually limited edition, so I will keep those until the wheels fall off, kind of thing. She has a whole new palette now, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't need that, because some of those I'm like, I swore it's the same. I don't need that. So anyway, and then I managed, working from home, I did manage to I don't say I felt better, but it's easier to work in a temperature controlled environment, because at work they had AC going, I had my hoodie on, I'm and they at least fed us, because I didn't think they were going to feed us. So we're using L'Oreal True Match. Focus. An N10, neutral 10. I've used this in the past. I was at a store maybe a few months ago. Yeah, it was a few months ago. I found this on clearance for $2. And it literally was the only N10. And I guess where I live, they kind of, I'm going to say they don't have darker shades. Well, the darker shades don't sell really a lot, but literally when I go back on the app and look to see if they have any more N10s, they do not. This was the last one. I'm like, are you thinking nobody in this area where I live, nobody freaking So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, it's more than a year old. Usually say foundations usually between a certain. And so we're gonna try it. If my face doesn't break out, we're gonna keep it. Whatever. Again, it's $2. I do want to try the new L'Oreal Skin Ink. I think I found my shade. I watched some videos today to see. Okay. So it's kind of watery like that. Because I do like this foundation. This is probably too much. Yeah, it's definitely. I think I squirted more than once. I'll watch the video to see how much. Because I was like, did I squirt that much? And I'm like, nobody else wears a shade apparently. Because usually I can either be warm 10 or W10 or N10. I've been using N10. When they first used to put L'Oreal True Match where you could watch it, or a tester actually in the store, which this was a while ago in Target. I was in the Tempe Target. This was a while ago. And I swatched in the store and I'm like, okay, I'm either N10 or W10. I could either wear either. Yeah, it's definitely too much right there. So, but yeah, so I just like N10. I like how it looks. Let's try not to get anything on the shirt because I had to steam it. It was a while ago. It's been sitting there just waiting to be worn. I'm trying to keep it from getting wrinkled. I need to see what kind of coverage this is, if this is medium or even N10 looks a little. Right now, it's like looks like it could be a little warm. But no, that's coverage. I'm like looking at that. I'm like looking in person. I'm like, our hyperpigmentation, you can see a little bit, but I would say it's definitely medium coverage. But I just like this foundation. Because you could have all those expensive ones, but then you get a budget friendly. You go to Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens. Ulta's gonna have them more expensive. The price is gonna be too much. But you can get for like $9.89 at one of those other stores I just named. So it's, you see, this is, and I'm looking at it, yeah, it's matching my chest. So, and I'd use ChatGTP to figure out which of my concealers I should use with this. Apparently I have a lot of warm concealers. And so the only one they said was Maybelline, FitMe, excuse me, and 55, which is what I've been using. And even then, it was like, it could be kind of warm. But yeah, and then I think I got through a day of work, and then another day I started at the morning, and I had taken cold medicine because I had some that wasn't expired. I don't get sick that often, so when I buy cold medicine, it goes to waste because I use it for, the first couple of days, and then don't use the rest. Like, you'll use either all the days or all the nights, and then you're like, okay, I have to buy more if I need something for night, kind of thing. And so yeah, usually I like the cough syrup I had was expired. Like I said, keep buying it for one cold, and then unless you're a sickly person, I have kids, because kids play on other kids in the germ factories. Um, so it was just, I was glad to find some without having to go to the store. And then, but yeah, so part of the day I worked, and then I was like, I just prepared the job I was working on to turn over because I was like, I'm not gonna finish this. I'm like, I don't. I'm like, this medicine hasn't kicked in enough for me to work through this right now because I think I had a fever again. So I asked my supervisor, I'm like, I'm gonna turn this over, but I'm like, I need to clock out. She's like, okay. And I was really exhausted as well, so I had to definitely clock out. And then all I did was, it was, I wanted to go down to, I didn't want to make breakfast. I was too sick to make breakfast, and so what did I end up doing? I don't think I even ate anything. I think I waited and didn't eat anything, and I just had soup later. Yeah, and I was just tired, so I just slept. Because the thing is, cold medicine, it says non-drowsy. The daytime, it still makes me tired. So I don't be believing all that. And then a friend of mine was like, "Do you need anything, or what have you?" And I'm like, "And now I'm fine, but I'm like, I've got a few days. I'm gonna need something, possibly." And so I ended up needing. I was like, "Do you need 2 pot pies?" What else did she give me? I don't remember. I was very specific, and I'm like, "Here's a coupon." Another coupon. I'm like, "Here it is on the app to go to Fry's. If you have the app, I'm like, you can get it for cheaper, or what have you." And so she like, too late to bring it over a certain night or whatever. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm up. I stay up late even when I'm sick until that medicine kicks in. So that's the only day of work I missed was that one day. And I just suffered through it the other day, so it wasn't like bad enough for me to not be able to, work through it or whatever. Because I just kept taking, like I said, the cold medicine. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's do the concealer. Sephora savings event is currently going on, and I'm like, they have a concealer brush I want, Sephora collection. Because this is a concealer brush. I'm not a fan of it. Which is why I was just looking at it like that. And I have other concealer brushes, but some of them just aren't great. And I realized the old looks I was using L'Oreal, the True Match, and I'm like, I kept using corrector. I'm like, why was I using corrector? Because it's enough coverage. I don't need to wear corrector. But apparently I was. But yeah, it took me a while because I was counting. I'm like, what day am I on? When I think I got sick or was starting to feel sick and didn't realize I was feeling sick. I was like, count down like that. I'm like, okay. I think right now I'm on like day 12 or 13 or something like that. But because I was kept looking at the phase stages, I'm like, what stage am I in? So I know if I'm contagious or whatever. Because there's things I wanted to go to, but I was like, I can't. Even with a mask, I'm like, I don't have the energy to drive across town. Energy to go to this. So I missed a happy hour, 2 happy hours in a row because again, I'm like, even though they're outside, I'm like, there's no way I could get through that. And this whole thing is like, you never know when you're gonna sneeze, but the thing is, being in your 40s and you sneeze, it's like, if you know, you know. I was like, okay, like, I'll definitely blend those edges. But yeah, I finally, I'd say a little more. Definitely, it took like at least 8 days till I started feeling better. Like you can probably still hear some of the congestion. Um, when I lay down, it's like sometimes I'm still laying down, kind of sitting up a little bit because it's congestion that is fine when I'm sitting up, but when I'm laying down trying to sleep, I can't breathe at some point. Just trying to fall asleep. Okay. Let's blend these edges. Actually, right there. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling better. To go to things. I'm trying to think, did I go to anything this week? Oh, I went to vote. That's about it. We had voting in the state, so. Because I think, over the weekend, I did go to this bakery that was raising funds for a local food bank, one of them. So I wore a mask in there because I'm like, it's small. So I was like, and there's always people in there, so I was like, okay, let me wear one in there. And I wore one in the grocery store too, even though it's more spread out. I think you can see the brightening right there, even though that's, what shade was that again? 55 versus Hazelnut, what have you. So I wasn't planning on doing blush. That's why if you don't see me putting blush, I wasn't planning on putting blush. I'm gonna set everything, and then maybe if I decide to put blush on, we'll go with that. And book club is supposed to be tomorrow, and I'm like, no, I have not finished the book. It should be a fast read, but when you don't really have time to actually read, or you're busy, okay. I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos on wig installs because if y'all saw my last video, I was like, okay, I struggled a little bit. And then of course it's always like I struggle, but then later on, like I remember at the end of the night, I was like, okay. I looked at it, I'm like, it looks good. I'm like, I was just very self-conscious. Um, I was just very self-conscious. I'm like, it looks good. It was a little bit high, which I think I put in the video. I'm like, how is it? I'm like, how did I install it that high? I did the 4 fingers, but of course the angle was like, that's what it was. Which I did not notice on camera that at that angle, that there's still more room. So it looks like I have a big forehead. As you see, I have a small forehead. Like it, some people have really big foreheads. Where I installed it, because of course I had less hair, it looks like I have a big forehead. I'm like, my forehead is not that big. It's literally 4 fingers. So they say install 4 fingers from your eyebrows. I'm like, it should have been 4 fingers because I have a small. I have this. My hair comes down low, which I've had a problem. It's not a problem, but I learned in middle school because I may have said this before, but they we had a makeup class, like theatrical makeup kind of thing, and they put makeup on me. And this was back when they used cold cream, so trying to get it off because I actually had hair, and because I have my hair comes low on my forehead, getting it off was not easy. It was a struggle. You're supposed to make sure you have enough creases before you set. Y'all probably notice I never ever do that. I could. While I'm using. Where's my concealer brush? Where's this brush? So you probably see the difference there. This is there. I don't be caring. Because I've learned that and I know that, but as y'all notice, I don't. Maybe my earlier videos, I have to look back to see. That I don't do that. Okay, let's set the bronzer or the contour. I was gonna shave my head today. I do one of my breaks, but I did not. I needed to wash my hair, so I just washed it instead. And then I might shave it today, or tonight. I don't know why the way things positioned, I can't see over there as much as I usually can. I'm trying to find bronze and not have to use blush, because I'd have to get a brush for that. Okay, let's put that down. Let's do nose contour. Look like that, kind of like a transition shade. You know, I've used a lighter pink for that transition. But yeah, I've always liked this eyeshadow. The berries, that's probably, like I said, why I couldn't let it go. Mind you, like I said, I have Danessa, like the Lightworks, the Freedom Palette, Lightworks 6. So it's like I have the Morphe Rose to Fame that I could use as well for some of the shimmers or the pinks aren't that dark in that Rose to Fame, but I could use Danessa. But this palette, it's a good, like when it's Juvia's Place. I think a lot of people, when they have a Juvia's Place palette that no longer exists or whatever, it's like it's it's just something. Mind you, I know the berries still exist, but I'm like, what's the point of it? They have sales on it all the time. I'm like, I don't need a new one when I have one. What's the point of getting a new one when I already have one? It's like, let me just use this. Okay, let's. I'm like, what blush am I going to use if I do? Because I went kind of a light pink purple. That's very pink. Can I use that as eyeshadow? And I mean blush? Let me just get a brush. I didn't want to use like this color pink or whatever. And this pink is not as, you wouldn't suspect it's that dark. So I used this pink, and that pink. This is outer transition crease. So I'm kind of in like, so I'm going to Juvia's Place Volume 5. And it's I understand it's fall, but I'm going to mix them. But you see the shirt. I just kind of want a lighter pink than that. If I'm going to wear pink. Which I could use Prima Donna by Didessa, but I just want kind of a lighter pink. It's like, I'm going to keep going in the lighter one versus the darker one. So I was almost thinking about Neo or Didessa's Groundworks Blooming Romance. I was going to use one there. I'm going to say Adorn. But no, I want a little lighter. Okay. Because as we know, the blush is forcing to go, so it's not too much really. And then this is bronzer again. It's kind of meet it. And also kind of make it not so much. A little more subtle. So I'm kind of going over it. Yeah, okay. Why is this one side? It's not that much on it. I'm not dipping back in because I'm just like, why is this? Okay. But yeah, so I had a cold and then I think what else? Put that right there. Got over that. But yeah, instead of reading the book club book, I don't say it's not interesting. It's just sometimes the books I'm like, okay, at least it's not so far not depressing. Actually, there is some depressing in it. So one of the ladies, or sometimes both, like to pick books that are depressing. And I'm like, yeah. And they know how I feel. And then sometimes I'm just not interested in what, but you know, I'll read them. It's just, just not my cup of tea. But I like the book club because I read books I normally would have never read, and we've read some really good books. So I don't want to seem like it's always, you know, depressing books that I have not done. We read one book where two books, that were like have black people in them, but like, okay, one of them was passing. Like it was, I was just reading it, you could tell she was passing. Which I think the other one. What was the other one? Was that the same book? Is that a different book? I don't know. I'm like, I don't have to read books that are just have based on, you know, main characters, black or anything like that. But I appreciated that. Yeah, the other one was black too. Okay, so there's two. But I appreciate that they picked a book that had featured, you know, black families, whatever. Because it's like all the girls are white, and then except for one woman is, she's Mexican. Yeah, she's Mexican. So I'm like, that doesn't bother me. But it's like sometimes I'm like, I know I have to tell them things. I'm like, okay, as a black person, because they don't know. So it's like, you know, how I have seen the book kind of thing, read the book. I'm trying to remember. Oh, because I think once we ate somewhere, we met up at a restaurant instead of there. We've done that at least twice. No, 3 times. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, the thing is, when I was in Gilbert, I'm like, when I get in Gilbert, I'm like, okay, I'm like, they didn't understand or they didn't realize that me driving in Gilbert, I'm not saying Gilbert is racist, but people know Gilbert is not the best of black. So, Mind you, I know people who work PD there and stuff like that. It's just, it's basically, it's like you kind of keep your head on the swivel. Because Gilbert's a very nice, you know, rich kind of money kind of town or what have you. But some things have happened in Gilbert, so. I was like to get, y'all know, y'all watched. There's obviously Vanessa. With the Sephora sale, that's what I was talking about earlier. I still have a lot in here. But I'm like, do I want to get the bigger size or wait to Black Friday sales? Oh, I am working Thanksgiving. I decided to work Thanksgiving. And a friend of mine has invited me to his place for dinner. And I was like, okay. I'm like, they haven't decided what time they're eating yet. And I'm like, just to let you know, I'm like, I'm working till such and such. I'm like, don't take that into consideration for when y'all want to eat. Because different types of people eat different times. Let's go into this eye. Now, what I'm going to do, before I go under, I'm going to do, we're using Shaina B Miami in Black Card for eyeliner. I still have time. I mean, I don't have to be the first person there. So, I do like this liner. Okay, I'm seeing that. Let's, I think I forgot before after I did my eyes to take out the glitter that was right there. And then I'm using the L'Oreal, because I forgot I had the smudger on this. Which I don't think is actually doing anything. So. Okay, I did a better right there. And then let me do the other eye, and then I'll do what else I was going to do. So I don't know when I started using this one to know if it's expired or not. The top to that? It is. No. I was like, where's the top? I'm not counting that because it's just, I just used a smudger. They all had smudgers, that'd be awesome. So we're not putting on anymore. And then I'm going to take this. One thing about, yeah, Juvia's place in general, they don't put a mirror like on any of their eyeshadow palettes. And it's like, really? I'm going to go in with this one to go under. And I'm using this kind of smudgy type brush. So I have it, but I don't use it. I'm not going to keep it because it's kind of broken. The glue, pretty much. I don't use hot water, but over time, warm water does. Because I keep getting like, because I don't put mascara on my bottom lashes because they usually smudge right there. But if I do that, that helps that you can't see them smudge. time I'm 48. Yeah, I like that. That's that. And then I'm going to take what's left on this. And then kind of, this is, what color's up here? You see a darker pink and then there's a lighter pink. So I'm going to go with the lighter pink. So I'm also kind of setting the eyeliner. Because even though it dries matte, like it dries out very fast. My eyes and my lids and everything, you just don't be doing. I don't need that. Okay, let's push in whatever's left I need to push in and use the other side. Because I washed all my brushes a day I was still sick, but I did in the kitchen versus bathroom, because bending over, I wasn't trying to tire myself out. I might bleach my hair or dye my hair, whatever you want to say it, for Thanksgiving. So, because I'm going to shave it today, no, by Thanksgiving, it'd still be, I should cut it again, so. The 20th. Yeah, I could do that. And then shave it today. Wait like a week and a half. Get enough growth. And then dye it, bleach it, whatever you want to call it. Okay. The lipsticks is going to be easy. I didn't put my mascara on. Y'all don't be saying nothing. And I know this video should be shorter, so. But yeah, I did realize, like, I want to wash my brushes since I was sick, and then I only used one lip product, and I'm just like, okay, I just bought that lip product. So I'm just like looking up how long germs disappear, because I was like, I just bought that. I just bought that. And I think it was on sale. So I'm just like, why didn't I sharpen this before? Okay. So I wanted it to be very Juvia's Place centric, which is why I have this, but I didn't sharpen it. We're gonna go with Hazelnut, Fenty's traced out lip liner. It's gonna be different with this. I did a video, a short or a reel with this product already, but I used brown, which looked good. And I see that right there. Of course, when I'm almost done, that's what happens. Let's put that there. I need to sharpen that too, but it's not as dull or wonky like the other one where it was cutting. It's gonna cut my lip. So we're using MAC Dazzle Lips again in grateful. And I could put something else on top of that if I wanted to. I'm gonna take this with me. I'm gonna take a gloss with me. I like that snap. I don't need to take that with me. I have a gloss. I don't need to put a gloss on them, but I'm like, my lips also feel kind of dry. Let's put the earrings on while I'm over there deciding that shit. But yeah, I feel better. You have to go out. I think I said a review of the play I went to, Still Here. It was awesome. Afterwards was after party upstairs of the Gamage, which I've never been up there, with the writer, director of the play, and all the dancers, and their little hors d'oeuvres and stuff, and drinks. That was the bar, whatever, was free. It was nice to support the arts. Yeah. So with that, I am off to happy hour.